a warning from Canada's Privacy Commissioner, and we're going to begin there with Megan Fitzpatrick. More on what the Privacy Commissioner is saying about buying cannabis. A warning from the Commissioner, Megan.
Well, it's advice that's aimed at both buyers and sellers of recreational cannabis in Canada. It's called a guidance document, and it outlines basically what people's privacy rights are when it comes to purchasing cannabis, and also what the obligations of sellers are under Canada's privacy laws. It does note that cannabis is illegal outside of Canada in most jurisdictions, and that Canadians, as we know, may be denied entry to the United States or other countries because of a history of purchasing or using cannabis. So the Privacy Commissioner telling Canadians certain things to keep in mind, particularly when it comes to how their personal data is stored and shared. So he's put out a few tips, basically, Heather. Let's take a look at what some of them are. He's recommending to purchasers of recreational cannabis to only provide the least information possible. Also saying if people have concerns about using their credit card and essentially creating a paper trail of their purchases, to use cash if they can. Also be mindful if stores or retailers are asking for your personal information, your email address, your name, your address, to join a club, for example, a mailing list. Only provide your email address, not other personal information. Now, in terms of that recommendation to use cash only, that may not apply to a lot of Canadians where they don't have an option to buy recreational cannabis in person. Some provinces right now have a limited number of stores. Here in Ontario, for example, there are no physical stores. People can only buy online right now through the Ontario Cannabis Store that's run by the provincial government. And it's already had some issues with a privacy data breach linked to Canada Post delivery of the product, affecting some 4,500 people. The Privacy Commissioner in Ontario was notified about that. So basically, the Federal Privacy Commissioner informing Canadians about their rights, informing retailers of their obligations, given this new landscape that started in October when recreational pot was legalized.
And as you mentioned, retailers, what are the advice to them, Megan?
Similarly, the Privacy Commissioner telling them only collect the minimum amount of information that you need from your customers. Also advising them that, for example, if they plan on using video surveillance in their stores, that they have to notify their customers of that before they go into the store. There needs to be clear signage that there's video being used there. Also some guidance on how to store people's information, either physically or electronically. Some guidance there, particularly for the online storage. Heather, it notes in this document that if data is stored in the cloud, that sometimes that information can be transferred or stored in foreign countries. And so the Privacy Commissioner saying really having that data stored in a server in Canada is preferable. So there's a lot to keep in mind for both people selling cannabis and purchasing when it comes to their privacy rights. And this document is now available online for Canadians to have a look at.